At lunchtime, a little girl named Anna was sitting alone in the corner, eating her lunch. Just then, a new boy walked over to her table carrying an empty tray and asked softly,
"Can I sit here? Everyone else said I can't."
Anna glanced at his tray. It was completely empty.
"Where's your lunch?"
she asked. The boy looked a bit embarrassed and said in a low voice,
"I forgot to bring my lunch again."
Anna barely hesitated. She broke her sandwich in half and handed him a piece.
"Here, take it. My mom always packs too much for me."
The boy's eyes lit up.
"Thank you. My name is Tom."
"I'm Anna."
She replied. That week, Anna shared her lunch with Tom every single day. But when Friday came, Tom didn't show up. On Monday morning, the teacher announced in front of the whole class, "Tom won't be coming back. His whole family has moved away." Anna froze for a moment, and her heart suddenly felt hollow. But as time went by, this new classmate who never brought lunch money was slowly buried deep in her memory. 15 years later, Anna was sitting in the bank manager's office, her eyes red and her voice trembling.
"Please, could you give me another 2 months?
She pleaded.
My mother's medical bills have used up all my money."
The manager's tone was strictly businesslike. "Miss Brown, your mortgage has been overdue for 3 months. I'm very sorry, but we have to take back this house." When she walked out of the bank, Anna could barely stand. She was about to lose the house she had grown up in, the only shelter her sick mother still had. That night, someone suddenly knocked on the door. Anna opened the door and saw a man in a crisp suit standing on the doorstep.
"Excuse me, are you Anna Brown?"
"Yes, I am."
She answered, a little nervously.
"I'm Tom White from White Real Estate. I noticed that your house has entered foreclosure."
Anna's face instantly turned pale.
"Are you here to kick us out early?"
But the man gently shook his head.
"No, I'm here to pay off your mortgage."
"What? Why would you do that?"
The man looked at her, his eyes serious.
"Do you remember 3rd grade? You once shared half a sandwich with a new boy."
Anna was stunned. Then her pupils suddenly widened.
You're that Tom who never had lunch money."
He nodded.
"Yes, it's me. When I was a kid, no one but you was willing to let me sit at their table. Every day, you shared half your lunch with me."
He paused, and his voice grew lower.
"Actually, back then, I wasn't just a new student. I was a homeless child. My whole family lived in our car. Sometimes, the half sandwich you gave me was the only food I had all day."
Anna covered her mouth, so shocked that she couldn't say a word.
"Later, my mum found a job and we moved away. But I never forgot you,"
Tom went on.
"You treated me as a friend, not a burden."
He took an envelope out of his bag and handed it to Anna solemnly.
"Your mortgage has been paid in full, and your mother's medical bills have also been settled."
"I can't accept all of this, Tom."
Anna said, tears already streaming down her face.
"Yes, you can."
Tom said softly.
15 years ago, a little girl gave me half a sandwich. That small act of kindness carried me all the way until I built the company I have today.
But I only shared a little bit of my lunch with you.
Anna said hoarsely.
No,
Tom shook his head, his eyes also filling with tears.
for a child who was hungry, afraid, and convinced that the world was cruel, you gave more than a sandwich. You gave me hope. You changed my life.
The child you treat kindly today may be the one who reaches out a helping hand to you tomorrow. If you still don't have a method for learning English, then seeing this means you've already found the answer. This learning pack truly starts from interest. Each story is simple yet full of meaning and includes videos, audios, and exercises. Click the shop window on the homepage now to grab the full pack and make learning English as addictive as watching short videos.
One day, a father said to his son, "Bring your girlfriend home. I want to meet her." The son smiled and said, "Okay, Dad, I will bring her tomorrow." The next day, they walked into the community gate. The girl saw an old man in a blue uniform. He was bending down and sweeping fallen leaves. "Work hard. Please drink some water." Then she bent down, picked up a piece of trash, and put it into a trash can. She turned to the boy. Her eyes were honest and kind. Whether someone respects hard work is more important than their status. You should not think his hard work is normal. The boy was shocked. His eyes slowly turned red. Just then, a black car stopped slowly at the gate. Two men in neat suits got out quickly and said politely, "Chairman, the meeting is ready." The girl was surprised. You are the chairman?" The father took off his work hat and smiled. "Yes, I do run a company, but I want to see a person's heart. I want to know if she respects others and if she is trustworthy." He patted his son's shoulder and said in a firm but gentle voice, "Son, remember this. Money can test people's hearts, but the people who stay are the ones you should treasure." The father said to the mother, "I will go out to drink with my friends tonight." The mother replied, "Okay." After a while, their son walked over and said, "Mom, I got my midterm exam results today. I did not do well." The boy thought his mother would scold him, but to his surprise, she calmly said, "It's okay. A bad result is not a big deal. If you keep working hard, you will do better next time. It depends on you." The next day, the daughter walked to her mother with a nervous face and said, "Mom, I accidentally broke your makeup." The girl was very afraid that her mother would be angry. But to her surprise, her mother said, "It's okay. Just clean it up. Be more careful next time." The family was used to the mother's emotional outbursts. Now, seeing her so calm made everyone worried. They asked her what was wrong and why she was suddenly so calm. The mother smiled and answered, "It took me a long time to understand that everyone must be responsible for their own life, I realized that my pain, worries, anxiety, and stress cannot solve your problems. Instead, they only create more problems for me. When you ask for help, I can only give advice, but whether you accept it is completely up to you. No matter what decisions you make, good or bad, you must face the consequences yourself. I am not responsible for anyone else's behavior. I can only control my own reaction. My duty is to take care of you, love you, and encourage you. But besides that, solving problems and finding happiness depend on you. So I should stay calm and let you solve your own problems. From that day on, the whole family had nothing to say. Because everyone knew what they needed to do, the family began to run better.